my favorite rapper of all times, Tupac Shakur, he once said that fear is greater than love. Now, I didn't fully comprehend that when he first said that, because I said to myself, hold on. I said, love will always conquer everything, right? Including fear. Love conquers all, right? But that quote that he said, fear is greater than love, that didn't fully hit me until this year, right? Because I lost my family, I lost my Jehovah Witness friends, people that I've known since birth, people that know me for over 30 years, vanished, just cut me off, just like that, right? So when Tupac said, fear is greater than love, I now know the true meaning to that quote, right? I know the true meaning to that. Because I had people in my life, especially my family, my mom, my two brothers, that they claim they love me, right? They said that by words. But the fear that they had for the organization, the fear that they might be destroyed by God during their Armageddon and Great Tribulation, right? That fear, it was strong enough for them, especially my mom, it was strong enough for them to shun me. The fear that they had over the organization was greater than the love that they had for me, right? That fear outweighed the love that they had for their own blood, right? So when Tupac Shakur said that fear is greater than love, I now know what that means, unfortunately, right? And this is what the Jehovah's Witness organization, this is what they do. It's a fear-mongering organization, right? They control people by fear. Their cult tactics is out of this world. It's out of this world. They know how to they know how to keep their members locked in, right? They know how to keep their members scared and fear, always waiting for the end of the system to arrive, right? Always waiting. And as we know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they are always waiting. Always in any type of negativity that happens across the globe, right? Any type of negativity that happens around the world. Starting, let's go back to 9/11, right? When 9/11 happened, there was witnesses saying, oh, this is it. This is the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of the Great Tribulations, right? People were saying this when 9/11 happened, right? And that was over 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago, right? When 9/11 happened. Any type of famine, earthquake, wars, COVID, right? Even during COVID, people were saying, oh, this is it, guys. Brace yourselves, right? And here we are, a few years after COVID, post-COVID. And witnesses are still waiting for the end to come, right? Because it is that fear. Like I said, any type of negativity that happens, anything negative that occurs around the world, famines, earthquakes, anything, right? Witnesses are like, oh, this is it. Going back from 9/11 to right now, to COVID, post-COVID, right? Any major event that occurs, witnesses they're ready for paradise earth to come. They're ready for the Great Tribulation to occur, right? And they are still waiting. Now, a few years ago, Stephen Lett, I believe it's almost going on 4 years. Stephen Lett said, we are now living in the last of the last of the last days. When he said that, witnesses were like, oh, this is it. Once again, this is it. It's right around the corner, right? Because their leaders, they have installed that fear until their worshipers, right? And as we know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they are going to obey these men blindly. And I don't know about you guys, but I am ashamed. I'm ashamed and I'm embarrassed to even think that I was once a part of that organization, right? They have no facts. They're just following men blindly. That's what it comes down to, right? when it comes down to it, they are just following these 9 men blindly. There's no proof that they are God's true spokesman, right? They even tell their witnesses, they even tell the rank and file witnesses that, hey, we're not inspired by God. They say this in their publications, right? Now, when that, I believe that was in 2017, the February 2017 Watchtower article, right? Watchtower article, paragraph 12, it clearly stated that they are not inspired by God, right? Now, I was inactive. When that Watchtower came out, I was inactive. But if I was a witness, and I went to that meeting and I read that Watchtower in which they stated that they're not even inspired by God, I'm pretty sure that would have been my last meeting as a witness, right? Because why else? Why else would you follow men blindly, especially if they claim that they are not even inspired by God? Why else would you follow them? Follow them, right? You know why? It's that fear. It's the fear. They install so much fear in you that even if you doubt, even if you ask too many questions, right? What happens next? You're shunned. Nobody wants to be shunned, right? We already know it's inhumane. It's not loving at all, right? They will say it's loving, but it's far from loving, right? But this organization installs that much fear in you that you're scared to even ask questions. If you have doubts, you got to keep that shit to yourself. And I wonder how many witnesses actually are out there that have doubts, right? How many witnesses are out there? They're going to the meetings. They may hear something that doesn't sound biblical, right? And they're like, you know what? I'm just going to put this to the back of my head and pay no mind to it, right? And they go on with their lives. They go on to continue to be a witness, right? Even though they have these doubts. But the thing is, they are scared to inquire, right? They are scared to do their research because this organization, their leaders, have installed so much fear in their hearts, right? Now, if you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this, just like the hundreds, if not thousands of other witnesses, of other ex-witnesses, right? Ex-JWs, I've mentioned before. This is our motto, us apostates. This is our motto. If you believe that this is the truth, right? If you believe 100% in your heart that you are in the one and true religion, right? And your leaders are telling you, don't listen to apostates, don't do any research outside jw.org, right? If you honestly believe that you have the truth, what are you scared of? The truth should be able to withstand anything, any doubt, any criticism, right? Anything negative. The truth should be able to conquer that, right? So if you believe that you have the truth as a Jehovah's Witness, why are you scared to do your research? And more importantly, you have to ask yourself, what is it that my leaders, the governing body leaders, what is it that they don't want me to see, right? Because you have the truth, supposedly, right? So what's the problem? If you have the truth, guess what? The truth should be challenged with no hesitation, no problem, no questions asked, right? Challenge it. The Bible even encourages, in the book of 1 Thessalonians, it encourages people to challenge and question things, right? Just to make sure, double check, make sure that what you're being taught is authentic, and make sure that it's being taught by God, right? And not by men. So, if you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this, ask yourself, what is the problem? Why do you have all this fear in your heart? Why are you scared to listen to apostates? Why are you scared to do your research outside of jw.org if you supposedly have the truth? What's the problem? Right? You know what? You know what's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. Your leaders are scared that once you do your research outside the organization, you are going to find out the truth about the truth, and it's going to change your world 100%. Your life will never be the same. Once you find out the truth about the truth, you will never be a witness ever again. It's done. It's a wrap. It's done. And that is exactly what happened with me, right? Because all my life, I had this fear of apostates. Before I woke up, right? Before I did my research, I had this fear of apostates. I had this fear of doing any additional research outside the organization, right? But once I did my research and I found out the truth about the truth, it's a wrap. It's done. I said to myself, there's no going back. There's no reason to go back, because I realized that I was in a man-made organization, and I realized that my leaders, my fearless leaders, supposedly, quote unquote, right, that they were just scared for me to see the truth about the organization. And that is why they had to install this fear in my heart, right? But now it's been 2 years since I've been wide awake to this organization, right? It's been 2 years since I've done my research, and I realized that this is just a man-made cult. It's just a cult. That's all it is. Just like any other religion, right? It's just run by men, and they have to say, oh, this is from God. But when you do your research, I promise you this. I promise you this. If you're a Jehovah's Witness watching this, right? I haven't heard one story, not one, in which a Jehovah's Witness done her research, right? Outside of jw.org, and they said, oh, this is lies. No, I'm gonna still be a witness. This is all lies. I'm gonna continue to do what I was doing before. I'm gonna continue to be a witness. That's impossible. There is not one case, not one, in which I heard of when a Jehovah's Witness, they did a deep dive outside the religion, right? Because once you cross that line, once you open Pandora's box, I assure you, I promise you, right? I promise on my life. Once you open that box, once you do your research, there's no going back. That is a one-way trip. Once you realize why your leaders don't want you to listen to apostates and why they don't want you to do research outside the organization, once you realize that, right? Once you go beyond what you're expected to go beyond as a witness, you won't be a witness anymore. It's done. You're done. Your preaching days are over, right? That is exactly what happened with me and hundreds of thousands of other ex-JWs, right? That's a one-way trip. But the thing about me, right? As of right now, I have no fear in my heart. And I said this in my other videos. This is how the organization, this is how they capture their members, right? They have to install fear in your heart. You either service or you die, right? Once a witness hears that, they're like, oh, I'm gonna stay with the organization because I don't want to die, right? They want to live forever, right? Now, mind you, and I say this often in my videos, you will not find the words paradise, earth in the Bible, right? There is not a passage where Jesus spoke about paradise, earth. So, me personally, I don't believe in a paradise, earth, right? I feel like that's a sales pitch that your leaders, they've been saying it for over 100 years. For over 100 years, they've been saying paradise is right around the corner, right? And witnesses, no one wants to die. So, of course, witnesses, that is another way that they keep their members in fear, right? You want to live forever on a paradise earth? Obey us, serve us, worship us. This is what your governing body leaders are telling you, right? But yet, they've been saying it for over 100 years. And all while, the whole time, they're telling you, oh, while you're waiting for paradise earth, donate your money to us. Give us your money, right? Now, as a witness, if you're a witness watching this, right? What did Jesus do? When people were trying to profit back in the day, in Jesus' times, right? The Pharisees and Sadducees, they were selling in his temples. They were setting up, they were trying to gain profit financially from people, right? In the temple, in the house of God. What did Jesus do when he found out that people were trying to profit from him, right? People Jesus was flipping tables over. He was furious, right? Why on earth do you have to pay to be closer to God, to have an understanding of God, to have an understanding of the scriptures? Why are your governing body leaders, why are they telling you to make donations, monthly donations? Why? It should be free. They are no different from any other religion that's begging for money. They're no different, right? They're telling you, oh, paradise is right around the corner. But they're also telling you, give us some donations while you're waiting. Set up a monthly payment system while you're waiting for the paradise earth, right? Like I always say in my videos, this is why I make videos. This is why I do it, because there are going to be witnesses out there, right? There's going to be millions of witnesses that will never wake up, they will literally die waiting for a paradise earth that's never going to happen, because they have nothing but fear in their heart. They're too scared to do the research outside the organization. And if they did their research, right? If they did their research, they would no longer have any fear. Like me, I have no fear at all. That's the best feeling in the world. I don't fear elders. I don't fear any governing body leaders, no CEOs, nothing. I don't even fear death, right? And that's the one thing. That's how they get you, by death. They have you fearing death. They say, oh, you either serve us or you die. If you don't serve us, if you're not a part of this religion, you're done. You're gone. You're gonna perish. You're gonna die, right? Now, me on the other hand, I say, you know what? Kill me. But you know why? Because I'd rather die than be a part of a man-made organization that protects pedophiles. I'd rather die than be a part of a man-made organization that only shows love towards their own members and nobody on the outside, right? How is that loving? How is that loving, right? Like I said, I would rather die. I would rather die than be a part of that religion. Like, you can't pay me. You couldn't pay me to be a Jehovah's Witness ever again, right? You can write me a check for $100 million. I'll cash that check. But I would never be a witness ever again. I'll take the money, but I would never be a witness ever again. Never. And there is nothing that no witness could ever say about that. You know why? Because, like I said, the difference between me and Jehovah's Witnesses, they have fear in their hearts. That's why they're scared to do their research outside. Me, I fear nothing, not even death. Not even death. I don't care. I don't care if I die. You take the element away, right? You take the element of fear of death away, there is nothing that no one can do to stop you, to hinder you, right? They can't. Once you take that fear of death away, you're good. You're on the straight path, right? Because, like I said, there's nothing that anyone can do to hinder you, right? But with witnesses, they scare them. The governing body leaders, they scare them. They say, oh, if you don't serve us, if you're not part of this religion, you're gonna die. Witnesses are, I don't want to die. I want to live forever on paradise earth. I'll do whatever I have to do. I'll shun my family. I'll shun my friends. I'll shun my kids, my parents. I'll shun everybody. I'll do anything you want me to do. I don't want to die. This is the witness mentality, right? So this is why Jehovah's Witnesses, this is why they obey men. This is why they obey the governing body leaders, because they have this fear in his heart. But if you take the element of fear away and you were to do your research, you would be unstoppable. Just like me, I'm unstoppable. This is why I could post videos on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I would approach any witness. I would talk to my family and members about this, right? Like, I have no fear in my heart whatsoever. And the people got to shun me, and I have been shunned by my family. I've been shunned by my mom, my two brothers. I've been shunned by Jehovah's Witnesses that I've known for 20, 30 plus years, right? I've been shunned by them. But guess what? It doesn't faze me because I have no fear. I have no fear. And I am willing to do whatever it takes to encourage witnesses, Jehovah's Witnesses, to do their research. I would do whatever it takes for them to do the research. Because the worst thing you want to do The last thing you want to do is spend your entire life as a witness and have nothing but fear in your heart by these men from upstate New York. And then you realize later on that it was all a hoax, it was all a lie, right? That's the last thing you want to do, is spend your entire life as a witness without doing your research outside the organization, right? Because once you do your research outside the organization, once you get over that fear that they installed in you, once you kill that fear and you do your research, you're bound to wake up. And you can live the life that you are meant to live, right? But you got to get over that fear. That's what it comes down to. You have to get over that fear, just like I did. And like I said, I have no fear. I don't even fear death. I fear nothing. I fear nothing. I'm unstoppable right now. And I can approach any witness and try to encourage them to do their research, right? But witnesses, they have to wake up. They have to wake up eventually. They have to get over that fear, because that fear is hindering them, right? It's stopping them from being their true, authentic selves. It's stopping them for them to be their true, authentic selves, right? But they have to get over that hump. And it's sad that this organization, it installs nothing but fear in people's hearts. That's all it does. That's all it does, right? But like I said, if you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this, ask yourself, why does my leaders, what is it about my leaders, why don't they want me to listen to apostates? What are these apostate lies? Why are they having talks about, and meetings, parts about apostates? If apostates don't matter, if they don't mean nothing at all, if apostates are just people that just left the organization, why are we even talking about them? If you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this, ask yourself this question. Why? Why are they talking about apostates? What are they scared? What are they scared for witnesses to find out about? Why? What's going on? Why? You know? Why are they trying to install this fear in your heart about apostates? What is it? Jehovah's Witnesses, you have to get over this fear. That is the one element. That is the only thing that's holding you back from doing your research. It's the fear. And once you get over that fear, I promise you, your life will change for the better. You got to take that leap. You got to take that leap, and you got to get over that fear. You got to do your research outside the organization, and I promise you, your life will change for the better. All right? I'm going to end this video on that note. But Jehovah's Witnesses, if you're watching this, hear me and hear me well. I'm a former member. I'm a whistleblower, right? I am not trying to cause you any harm at all. All I want you to do is your research. And guess what? This is the best part. If you don't like what you hear when you do your research, if you don't like what you see when you do your research, you can go back to being a witness. You can go back to doing what you was doing before, right? But like I said, once you open Pandora's box, I promise you on my life, you will not go back. You will never be a witness ever again. Once you open that box, once you do your research, you will never be a witness ever again. It's done. It's done. But you gotta take that leap of faith, and you gotta get over that fear. All right? I promise you. Start with jwfacts.com. Start on YouTube, Reddit, right? Listen to XJWs on YouTube, and that would be a game changer. Listen to Jeffrey Jackson, your governing body leader, lying under oath. Type in Jeffrey Jackson, Australian Royal Commission, right? I promise you, your life will change for the better. Guys, do your research. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.